Hey guys, welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. Alongside Chris and James, my name is Ryan. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of THPN. Thank you to DraftKings Sportsbook and also to Raycon for being our sponsors of this episode of our podcast and all of THPN. The Dallas Stars do lose by a final score of 2-1 tonight to the Vegas Golden Knights, and we have got a lot to talk about here tonight, you guys. There's more than I thought there would be. And there's a lot of frustrating things more than anything. What's y'all's initial thoughts?
I mean, before we get to the first string stuff, which I'm sure we're going to get to.
I thought you were going to just jump straight to it.
It was another great hockey game between Dallas and Vegas. Every single time it seems like it's going to be a good one, and it was. It lived up to the hype again. And then, I mean, I guess we're going straight to disappointing stuff still.
Yeah, just
but the final goal by Eichel just kind of showed how the entire game went for the Stars. I mean,
that's 2 games, honestly.
Yeah, Eichel whiffs on the shot. It's defended well because we thought that the shot was taken, but Eichel gets it right back, makes a great play, and scores and executes on the one chance he got. The first power play of the game, that was really their first chance of the game, and they score on it. So it's Vegas got good bounces, and they took advantage when they had a chance, and the Stars didn't. We had a lot of chances, and we didn't score them. So,
what do you think, James?
I think I'm pretty tired, honestly.
Can we talk about how the fact that the game said it was going to start at 8:30 and it didn't actually start till 8:50 Central Time? I understand this is the day before Thanksgiving, so most people probably don't have school and stuff like that.
But still,
but seriously, it's come on, we need to go to bed.
I was gonna say if there was ever gonna be a late start, I was happy that it was tonight.
Yes,
I'm still driving back, and I got time. I think it was 10 minutes after the game started. So
yeah, well, we were at church until 8:15, from 7 to 8:15, and we even talked for 20 minutes after that, and we were still able to make it back home in time before the game started.
Perfect.
Well, he's complaining about it.
All right, more bad stuff.
He's tired. Okay, so this is how I'm looking at this game, honestly, guys, is the fact that Vegas played really, really, really well defensively.
Mm-hmm.
That was the key. When they had to make key defensive plays, they did. There's, numerous opportunities where the Dallas Stars had chances to get shots off, and they just weren't able to take advantage of any of their stuff.
Yeah, they really shut down the slot, which is where you really have to attack Adin Hill, is in the slot cross-crease passes, and they shut those down almost completely. If you look at Dallas's shot chart, we had a lot of shots, but they were from all over the ice. There wasn't a consistent pattern of in front of the net or cross-crease or anything like that. The Knights did a good job of keeping us to the perimeter. And you were saying during the game, Ryan, that they played a perfect road game, which I fully agree with. That first period, it was pretty back and forth, still mostly dominated by the Stars, though.
But we didn't get any shots off.
We didn't get any good shots off because of the good defense, like you were saying. And then Vegas scores the goal, and that's a perfect first period on the road for them. Yep. They did it perfectly. And then they couldn't get their offense going, but their defense, like you said, was perfect, and they held on for dear life, and it worked out for them.
And the Stars did get better. They got to them as the game went on. And the thing is we had numerous chances in the third period. We were pushing at the beginning of that third period and just couldn't get anything. I think it was a little bit of Vegas playing really well, and we just didn't have any bounces or puck luck our way tonight.
Yeah,
I really think that was a big part of it.
I honestly think this was one of the better 60-minute efforts the Stars put together. As a complete game, I think this is the best complete 60 minutes. Well, 62 and a half that the Stars have played this season. Just because it was consistently good. I didn't really feel like there was one part of the game where it was oh, they were terrible. There was a bad shift here or there, but it wasn't sustained pressure by Vegas at any point this game, which is kind of surprising when you look at the power plays and see that Vegas got more power plays than us with no sustained pressure.
Okay, you opened it up, so we got to talk about it now. This is the one I wanted to talk about, everyone. The reffing was atrocious tonight.
Some might say the officiating was atrocious tonight.
The reffing, I don't care.
Okay.
The reffing. Okay, you're gonna make fun of me on this. It was terrible.
It was bad.
It was absolutely terrible on both sides. And I know that some people were kind of butthurt about Mark Stone, yapping at the refs and stuff like that. But he did get slashed on the hands in a prime scoring chance and didn't get a decent shot off. But at the same time, it was left and right. Like, how are you going to allow Brett Howden to go off and slash our best player and then cross-check him? And then even 30 seconds after that, when the whistle was blown, there's a face wash.
Yeah.
Like that, I mean, that it doesn't make and then the 3 power plays in the third period, all 3 of them were stupid calls.
That's what I'm more upset about. If you're not going to call them, then sure, fine, whatever. At least it's consistent. But if you're not going to call the stuff that you just said, the cross checks in the slot, which was part of the reason why we couldn't get anything going in the slot, is because anytime the puck was anywhere near anybody, they were going to stick in their lower back. Then you can't call those 3 penalties that were called in the third period. I mean, it's not consistent. Those were touch fouls, if that even. I mean, the third tripping call, the stick grazed his kneecap and he fell down like he got shot in the head. So, yeah, I've said this multiple times. It's not just missing calls. It's
the calls they
consistency.
make.
Yeah, you have to be consistent throughout the game.
Yeah.
If you're gonna not call things that we think should be called, at least do it the entire time. But they didn't even do that. So it was just a bad officiated game. And like you said, that went both ways too. I mean, there was calls that the Star Chef had made on them on prime scoring chances that weren't made. I feel like it was worse to the Stars, but this is also Stars podcast. So
we're going to be biased, right?
Exactly.
The worst one to me was the one in the second period. The shots were 3 to 12 at the time. And someone falls over on Vegas side after his one shot and they call a penalty on us after we dominate the period completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, what did y'all think about the Mark Schmidt reversal hit?
You see that a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, even we've seen.
Are we going to see like any kind of
do that too?
Yeah, but the puck was a lot closer to Haskin, in my opinion.
It was a lot closer than I think you think it is.
Really?
It was definitely a little bit early, but it was pretty dang close.
Well, was it? Do you think it hit his head?
No.
You don't think it was an elbow to the head? It looked like it. It really did to me.
I thought it was his nameplate, honestly, getting him. I don't know. I have to look at it again. I don't think it was his elbow.
I think this is not suspension worthy, but I think this might be something we wake up. Well, maybe not tomorrow because it's Thanksgiving, but Friday morning we hear from player safety and they say maximum fine allowable under the collective bargaining agreement.
And it's like $4 and like a coupon.
For them it's like $4 and like a coupon. It's just, I don't know, raising gains or something. That's even worse. Hey, Sabaro actually doesn't have bad pizza.
Right,
okay.
Moving on.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's talk about a couple of individual players tonight because the lineup pretty much stayed the same to start the game. It was both Robo and Ben starting in the same spot tonight. So it would change into the third period, and I think Robo got back up on the top line. But what did you think of that in particular? Or were you surprised to see that?
Well, we did get Harley back, which was big, and he looked really good tonight as well. But no, I guess, I mean, until Robo or Ben really gets going, I feel like that's just going to keep bouncing back and forth. I mean, neither of those lines really have looked exceptional the past 5-8 games.
Since the Hens line, or since the Sagan Duchesne line started going.
Yeah, since Duchesne's line has looked great, those other 2 lines have definitely dropped off. So there might be a little bit of shuffling until that gets figured out. But I think by the end of it, it'll be back where it started, honestly, just because of how much history that first line has.
Well, and then even the Duchesne line has been kind of quiet the last couple of games as well, right? Quieter. I mean, they had 8 of the Stars' 12 goals at one point.
They're still scoring a lot, but yeah.
I mean, they scored 2 in the.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They scored 2 last game.
The 2 big ones in the other game.
That's true. You brought up Thomas Harley. He gets back in the lineup. Hanley comes out. Hanley did well, filling in for Harley while Harley was gone. But what did you think about Harley's play tonight? Because I thought he actually played pretty well. and it really showed his play tonight, how much we kind of missed him and his ability to move the puck out of his own zone.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah, he was better than pretty well, I think. He was fantastic. And exactly what you said was what I noticed most about him was getting the puck out of his own zone. He did it pretty consistently, even with a good Vegas forecheck, especially in the third period. They really got their forecheck going, and Harley was still able to get out of it. His first game back, he's 18 minutes, 22 seconds time on ice. I mean, 5 full minutes more than Hanley was getting beforehand. So he's obviously bringing a lot more to the table than Hanley is, at least. And it's just those hands and his patience and knowing where the puck needs to go when he's in his own end that he brings to the table. He's been really good. And I think, like you said, him being out showcased how good he has been to start the year.
One of the things we talked about last episode, Chris, was Robertson. Robo was much more noticeable tonight for me, and he had a much better game. I think he had 5 shots. He had 5 shots tonight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 5 shots.
And obviously none more memorable than the opportunities he had in the overtime. So, I mean, he was holding on to that puck for dear life and not letting it go until he had an open shot. So,
and Aiden Hill was the only reason that we don't win this game, because of what Robo did in the overtime. He was 2 fantastic saves by Aiden Hill.
And speaking of Aiden Hill, both goalies were excellent tonight. They both were.
Yeah.
Like Otter made, especially when it was 1-1, and you could tell. I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to jinx us, but I could tell around the 5-6 minute mark remaining in the third period that the Stars looked really tired.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that y'all noticed. I noticed it immediately. I didn't say anything because I was afraid that Vegas was going to score.
That was the first time Vegas had sustained pressure for the whole game. I mean, was at the very end of the game.
Right, and Otter made some enormous stops throughout the game, but especially towards the end of the third period. And I know a lot of there's going to be two. Again, there's going to be 2 frames of thought for this game tonight. The first one is going to be that was just a juggernaut game between 2 top teams, both playing really well defensively, especially Vegas, and the Stars just didn't get any puck luck. That's kind of the way that I'm leaning. And then there's going to be other Stars fans who are going to be really frustrated about the fact that for some reason we just cannot beat Vegas in overtime. Just cannot do it. And they're going to be kind of like crapping on the team and stuff like that. So, I mean, are y'all in the middle? Are you leaning more towards one side or the other? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards it was a good game by both teams, and it got decided in 3-on-3 overtime, which isn't real hockey. So it's like, yeah, we keep losing in overtime, and last year we lost a lot of games in overtime in the regular season, and it definitely bled over into the playoffs. So maybe there's a small correlation there, but it hasn't been the same this year. I mean, we controlled the puck for 2 minutes and got like 2 or 3 good chances on Hill before it finally went back the other way, and then they got lucky and it went in. Yeah, they got one.
So it's like it. And then the other time that we lost to Vegas this year was in a shootout, which is even less hockey. So
skills competition.
Yeah, but here, like you said, it was sustained pressure by the Stars the entire time in overtime. Jack Eichel gets one chance going the other way, fans on a shot to get free and clear, and then does Jack Eichel things and makes a great play. So it's unlucky. I mean, it's unlucky that we got scored on that play. I mean, it should have been a shot that was easily saved by Otter, and then it would have gone the other direction, but he whiffed.
And it'll come back the other way sooner or later. Just last 2 games, been not very lucky about that. One, in spite of it last game, couldn't do it this game.
Yeah. Better team this game.
Yes, much better team this game. Some good defensive plays just from my notes. The biggest one that I can think of is the Sagan play, the defensive play on Petro. That easily should have been an empty net goal. Easily should have been. I guess that would have been 2-0 at that point.
Yeah, I thought Snape was like casting a curse on that puck to keep it out of the net. I was fully confused.
Couple more things. Marchment getting under the skin of the Vegas Golden Knights, especially in the first period. Kind of talked about that a little bit. That kind of faded away as the game kind of went along because it got more intense. But Do you like seeing that from Mason Marchment?
Yeah, I thought Marchment played a pretty good game overall. He was really good on the forecheck. He made a couple bad defensive plays, but that's kind of what you get with Mason Marchment as well.
Gotta take the
can't
good with the
believe-
bad.
Can't believe he didn't draw a penalty tonight, honestly.
Yeah, the fact they didn't draw penalties is kind of ridiculous, but we've kind of talked about that already. But that whole line still looked really good tonight and really dangerous every single time they were on the ice. Just couldn't get anything going. I mean,
And defensively too. Yeah, I know I mentioned Sagan, but Duchesne actually had a couple of good defensive plays tonight too.
Mm-hmm.
So that really sucks. But one of the things, another thing, the huge save by Aiden Hill on Wyatt Johnston during the power play. That just,
yeah.
And Johnston did everything right. He did everything right. He elevated the puck. It just wasn't elevated enough. And as Razor says, if you do not elevate, you will not accumulate. So that was a big play that I kind of thought was a big turning point in the game. So Dallas does give up a power play goal tonight too on special teams, by the way, which is very rare for them to be doing, especially this season.
Yeah.
I think they're still top 3 in the NHL right now when it comes to penalty kill, and their power play actually looked again. It seemed, again, it's hot and cold with their power play. There were times it looked really good, times it didn't look good at all. So they were building some momentum in the third period and at the end of the second as well. But what do you think, special teams wise?
I mean, the PK got beat just off of like one of the more beautiful plays you're going to see all season.
Yeah,
I mean, a behind the back, no look pass that is one timed into the net. I mean, yes, you shouldn't allow a pass with a box, but you got to give credit where credit's due on that one. That was just a great play. The power play is still not good enough. I mean, we had a top 5 power play last year, and it's just like you said, it's been slowly building and slowly getting better. It felt like when we started getting those goals, it should start all coming in, and it's still not. And I want to blame coaching because it's the same guys. The same guys that had a great power play last year are having a bad one this year.
I feel like some of that comes down to Robo being in kind of the slump that he's into. I mean,
you say he's in a slump and he's like tied for the team lead in points.
The goal slump, though, is the problem.
It is more of a
goal. The goals is what he's known for, especially on the power play. I mean, he was one of the 3 that was tied for lead.
He's already had 2 this year.
Yeah,
he had 2 during that 5-minute power play the Stars had a couple weeks ago. So, go figure.
He needs one at home, dude. Still goalless.
Yeah, that is true. He does not have a goal at home so far this season. So, I wanted to pull this up, and then we'll do biggest winner, biggest loser. We'll wrap it up tonight because James is tired. His eyes are glossing over. I continue to still hear about it, but we talk about how the forward lines they're not bad. They're just not fully gelling. Right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Patrick Kane apparently is going to be making his decision soon about which team he's going to join. And Spit and Chicklets continues to talk about Patrick Kane coming to the Dallas Stars. And it just dawned on me right now that if that's really something that could happen for the Stars, and maybe that solidifies some of the lines a little bit, I don't know. I still just don't see an opportunity for Patrick Kane to be on this team. Because that would mean like Dodonov goes to the 4th line. And then you've got Sam Steele and Delandria both, who are NHL caliber players, as 13th and 14th forwards.
I'm still on Team Patrick Kane, but I don't see how it would happen. I mean, there's no money. The money is not there.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
They could make it work.
You could make it work.
You could make it work.
But it would take a bad deal on our part. I mean, we'd have to give away Foxa for nothing, pretty much, or something like that.
No, well, what a lot of people are arguing about, and since he is over the age of 35, you can have a bonus-laden contract. So you can have him signed for league min, like $775, and then
but right now you can't even afford that still.
See, I haven't. That's the one thing I
think you're still a month out from the Stars having are technically having that cap space. So it's.
But
I
if
mean,
you take somebody like Sam Steele, you could waive him, sending him to the minors, and someone might pick him up.
someone will pick him up.
I think someone would too as well. So that would mean that I think
And even then, I don't think Kane signs for league minimum.
I think he will. If he thinks he can really win with the Stars, I think he would sign for league man. Because that's the only way that he would get a contract on a team that would have an opportunity to win the Stanley Cup.
I give it a 5% chance.
5%.
5%.
I think it's less than that, but we'll see where it goes. Okay, biggest winner, biggest loser tonight, guys. What you got?
Biggest winner, Rope Hands. He was flying around tonight. Even with Eichel on the other side, he still looked fast.
Yeah. Rope still looks like the best player out there, even when Eichel was on one. So, yeah, he's crazy. Mine is Jake Ottinger. We talked about his last 3 starts, probably he wasn't at his best. He was at his best tonight. He looked fantastic.
There's 2 fluky plays.
Yep.
Well, no, not fluky plays. One really amazing play, and the second one just a broken play.
And then a great finish.
And then a great finish, yes. So nothing on Otter there. I've got Jake Ottinger as the biggest winner as well for me because he was excellent tonight, and right when the Stars needed him to be at his best towards the end of the third period, he absolutely was the best for the Stars. So who do you have as your biggest loser?
Yanni Hakanpää for taking 2 penalties, even though I don't think either of them should have been penalties.
I'm not going to give mine to Ryan Suter again. I'm going back to the people.
I would give it to him. I would give it to him just purely for getting 2-hand baseball.
He did get 2-hand baseball slash, but he did not handle the forecheck of Vegas very well tonight at all.
He never does.
He never does, but it was especially poor tonight. Every time he gets the puck below the icing line, he just sends it up the boards and prays.
Which is why Miro Heiskanen played 28 minutes tonight.
28 minutes. Not one of our biggest winners. We are terrible.
I think y'all are a little harsh on Ryan Suter, but that's for me.
Oh, I definitely am. I'm trying to get the people on my side here.
Well, I'll get the people more on my side with my biggest loser. My biggest loser is the refs tonight.
Too easy.
But like for real, that is the worst part of the game.
It was probably
it was a great game by itself, but they made some stupid calls and then they missed the easy ones. Yep. They missed the easy ones. The slash on the hands on Mark Stone from Dodonov. That should have been called. Miro getting slashed. That should have been called. I mean, there were calls on both sides that they screwed up tonight.
Probably the most poorly officiated game so far this year. I will give a little bit more credit though. I feel like we had a lot more of these last year, like Dad was talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
This year's officiating overall has been better. This game, it sucked, and it kind of sucked for it to happen in this game too because it was second biggest game of the year so far. I mean, other than the first time we played Vegas. So, but oh well, do better, refs.
Do better. Let's see if we got any kind of comments over here that we need to talk about.
Ryan hates all your comments, everybody.
I do.
Make better comments.
Make better comments.
Oh, well, Brooke over here, is Chris wearing Vegas colors?
I'm not wearing Vegas colors. I'm actually double representing.
Let's see. Oh, I think Ardell was asking about Nils Lundkvist tonight.
Yeah, same as normal.
Yeah, he made some.
It was okay.
No, he made
pretty good.
He makes some fantastic plays. I mean, there were several really good defensive plays I saw him make, and then there were several really bad passes I saw him make out of his own zone, and some other really bad defensive plays and being too far forward. He's a young defenseman, and he's gonna do that. He's not consistent yet.
Yeah.
Harley got that consistency by playing an extra year that he probably shouldn't have played in the AHL. I mean, he by all marks.
No, I disagree with that. But look at the way he's playing now.
I'm agreeing that that was correct for his development. He was probably more than qualified to be an NHL defenseman all year last year, is what I'm saying. But it definitely worked out for him. Where was my point going? You distracted me.
Sorry.
But Lundkvist is doing that in the NHL in front of our eyes. So we're kind of seeing the bad that we didn't really see a lot with Harley because he was in the AHL when he was doing this development. But I think Lundkvist needs to keep playing, and he'll get. That's the only way you're going to get that consistency is playing more and more.
Ardell over here saying, add Tanev or Hannafin from Calgary.
Sure.
I really like Chris Tanev.
Not going to happen until the trade deadline, but Calgary is definitely where you're probably going to get
a decent defenseman.
Well,
from Zadorov. He's a big guy. He's a bottom pairing guy, but he's enormous. I think he's like 6'7". Tanev is the one I want. Hanifin is the better of the two, but Tanev has a really good manageable cap hit.
But which one's right?
Really good.
You know, which one's right-handed?
Oh, I don't.
They're probably all three of them are probably left-handed.
Knowing our luck.
Okay, let's see. Jared over here saying time to bring up Stankoven.
Can't.
No,
unfortunately,
we do not have the funds.
We still don't.
I do not think you have the facilities for that, mate.
I really don't think that's going to happen this year.
I would love it.
It will,
but we seriously can't.
I legit thought about it at the beginning of the year, and I was just like, he's going to get a call up if we have like a major injury to like Hintz or Duchesne or Sagan or something like that.
The only way we can call him up is if someone goes on the injury reserve, which means they're injured for 2 weeks or more.
Oh, this is a very good point, Ardell. Thank you. I meant to mention this. Dallas defensemen were pinching all game. They knew Vegas was not going to give them slot chances. I like the aggressive strategy. Yes, I very much like that. But they've got to be a little bit more successful at pinching when they do. And I like you talked about Suter. That was one of the things that I remember watching during this game is that Suter kind of pinched a couple times and missed. But in general, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
it was very aggressive. I liked it.
It was a good game. I felt like the Stars played great. Didn't get rewarded. You're playing the Stanley Cup champions, who are points-wise the third best team in the league right now. So
yeah,
it was a good game. You got a point. And to go between these three games, between Colorado, the Rangers, and Vegas, and get half the points, pretty good.
I'll take it.
The only frustrating thing is you were that close to getting all six. You should have won the Colorado game, and you were, I mean, if Robo had a better shot against Aiden Hill before,
or Wyatt Johnson elevates it just a little bit,
or Wyatt Johnson just elevates a little bit more, we got all 6 points. So, I mean, you're that close to being the best team in the NHL. It's seriously what it is. You're right there. It just, like I said, stuff isn't gelling, it feels like, with the lines. Robo's not quite as good as he needs to be. The only line that's really humming is the Duchesne line. Mm-hmm. And if we can get those other guys going, we can be there. Mm-hmm. The good thing is that we're not humming on all cylinders right now, and we're still the 8th best or 5th best team in the league. So
I think we're top.
And we're only 18 games into the season.
Long way to go.
And it is officially American Thanksgiving. I have to say American Thanksgiving because we have lots of other people who listen from all over the world. But that's kind of seen as the first checkpoint for playoff wise. If you are in the playoff picture at American Thanksgiving, like I think it's like 88% of the time you make the playoffs when it comes to April.
I wouldn't want to be an Edmonton Oilers fan right now.
Well, we'll save that for another day.
That's for Sunday.
That's for Sunday. We'll talk about that. There's a lot of stuff we need to talk about that's happened this week. We'll talk about the whole. I don't know if y'all saw it on X, but the Tim Peel, Frank Sperry thing. Oh, that was so funny. We'll talk about that on Sunday. But anything else, guys, before we wrap it up?
Nope.
James is tired.
Turkey time.
Football time as well.
Football time.
And 42 time as well in our family. Very big tradition. Okay. Along with Chris and along with James, my name is Ryan. Thank you guys for listening. There's up to 12 of y'all that were up at the highest at one point. 1,200. 1,200.
That's a lot of people.
No, just 12. But y'all are crazy. Go to sleep. We appreciate y'all listening. There's more of y'all that are listening afterwards. Of course, we appreciate y'all as well. Go and check out sarcasticremarks.com the next time you go and use all of that stuff. We got all of our episodes there. It's a fancy little website that I spent a lot of time getting going. And thank you again to Raycon and also to DraftKings Sportsbook for being our sponsors. We will catch you guys on the flip side, and we hope you guys have a good, fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are listening. From all of us, we hope you guys have a very happy Thanksgiving, and go Cowboys.